One of the biggest hesitations that I hear from people when they're thinking about whether or not they want to use SEO as a tool in their marketing toolbox is, do I need to do this forever? And my answer for that is probably not what the industry would tell you. If you go Google that, then the answer that shows up for you would probably be yes, because if you don't do it forever, then you'll start to fall in rankings and then the world will explode, right? But I work with really busy people. We don't have content marketing departments, and we're not trying to become the next Oprah or New York Times. We are trying to get enough leads, whether that's, again, people hiring us, buying from us, or joining our email list and eventually giving us money. We're trying to get enough of those to sustain our lifestyle. So we don't potentially need to do this forever. We need to do it until we are happy with the outcomes. And that's a decision that's up to you. Right? I can't tell you that you're done because there's always something else you could be doing. But it's kind of like you asking me, like, when does a cucumber become a pickle? Like, there's no right answer for this. So I would say, and when people ask me this, I often say, when you feel like you're getting the outcomes that you wanted from SEO, you can back off a little bit. So here are a couple examples. I had a student in Attract and Activate who went through in 2018. Her name's Kathleen. She's an operations consultant. So she ranks for terms like operations consultant and Dubsado checkup list and Proposify versus bid sketch and how to automate your coaching business. And she wrote 5 blog posts in 2018. I'm recording this in 2021, so it's been 3 years, and she still gets enough traffic to those 5 blog posts and enough people who fill out her contact form and want to work with her on those tools so that she can cover her expenses and not need to market herself all the time. It's been, she's made a couple tweaks here and there, but she doesn't have to write every week in order to have established herself as an expert on those specific problems that people need help with. Automation for coaches, right? Those specific tools she's using. One of my students, Sarah, went through this course and then relaunched her website in 2019, put all of the best practices into place in her website launch. She posts a blog maybe 2 or 3 times a year just to kind of keep some fresh content up there. And she ranks number 6 for the term conversion copywriter. So, or she did the last time I checked. If you were to go look at that term, maybe you wouldn't see her right there. But she's been in the top 10 for years because she was really intentional about where she put that information and what things she wanted to be found for. I have another member, Nancy, who on day 1 of joining the program, binged a ton of the course, made a bunch of changes on the site, and within a week, she was found for Graphic Designer Connecticut, and she booked a 5-figure contract based on that work. So it wasn't like, oh, it's going to take forever for this to work. No, within a week, she made up the amount that she'd spent plus extra because she was really intentional about the selection of keywords that she wanted to be found for. And I have another client, and she's been with me for years, Michelle, who wrote a blog post and created a YouTube video every week for 6 months back in 2019. And then she pivoted her business. She doesn't talk about that anymore, but she still has an offer about it. So she still gets traffic every day. Hundreds of people come in every month from Google, from YouTube, and from Pinterest based on those posts that she did 2 years ago. And about 5 new people join her membership every month. And so it's not like you can live on that money, but she is getting those passive sales. She doesn't have to work as hard to market that program, posting on Instagram or running Facebook ads. It just feels like the things that she did, the time that she put in on that, are still paying dividends 2 years later. So this isn't something that you do need to do forever. You could potentially just continue to grow and expand and claim more market share. But it's sort of like when you're trying to lose weight, you have to have that semi-intense time at the beginning where you're counting calories and you're burning more calories. Maybe you're weightlifting to increase your metabolism and you're going for long walks and, you're being super careful about your food intake. And as your weight decreases, you can relax a little bit, right? You can eventually go into maintenance mode. It's not like you can suddenly just give up. right? But you can do less. You don't have to work as hard. You don't have to restrict as hard or work as hard to burn. You can just maintain. So if you're thinking about including SEO in your marketing strategy, think about it in that way. There's a upfront commitment. There's a learning curve. You will need to learn some of these rules. You will need to take the time to implement them or hire somebody to help you implement them. Maybe you want to bring on a writer for a short amount of time to help get these pieces into place. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a commitment for the rest of your life. It's a commitment to establish yourself, to build a foundation. And then if you feel like you're getting really good results based on that, you can kind of back off and go into maintenance mode. So if that's your concern, I wanted to just alleviate that feeling of, if I try this, I'm stuck in it forever. You can always change your mind, right? But I just wanted to alleviate that fear, and I will be back tomorrow with our final set of videos. We're almost at the end. I'm so excited that you're still here with me, and I will see you in the next video.